socially acceptable for guys to scratch their balls in public?
I think so.
Or at least like adjust their balls.
Well, definitely adjusting. I mean,
like I don't know about like reaching into your pants and like under underwear, like giving a good old itch, but like seriously, like these motherfuckers get stuck together sometimes.
Yeah, and like, you know, scratching is kind of, it kind of goes in sync with like picking your nose. Like, yeah, it's something you got to do, but like just you got to like go in the bathroom to take care of that. But adjusting, I mean, sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah, no, it gets like really uncomfortable. Like you'll be sitting somewhere and like all of a sudden like you'll feel like the skin of your nut stuck to your leg and it gets real uncomfortable. Like you got to deal with it.
Yeah, especially in those warm summer months.
Yeah, when you have some swamp nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that needs.
I was thinking about that the other day when I was in public and needed to adjust my nuts.
Yeah, it really should be more socially acceptable. Picking a wedgie kind of goes along with that too.
Yeah, it gets really uncomfortable and like it's just like one of those. It's like we were talking about. I think it was last podcast about how like porn has become more acceptable and we're all just like, yeah, we all watch porn. Like let's, you know, who fucking cares? It like people should just recognize that like we all need to pull some undies out of our ass crack every now and then and just let it happen.
Right. I'm with you.
It's not like it's like some. It's not like we're admonishing people for doing it because it's something that not everybody does. Like everybody has to like deal with it sometimes.
Yeah. It's a fact of life. It just happens. There's probably a lot of things that would go along on that list that everyone does, but we have to privately do because you can't do them in public.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel like, you know, we are slowly getting there, but there's just these little straggler things where it's like people still to this day like look at you funny if you adjust your nuts, but it's like, oh, don't look at me like you've never done it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or like adjusting which side you're on.
I wonder, do women realize that men do that?
I don't know, because, you know, we've all got a home side, like, and it.
Do you ever like intentionally switch it up just to like see how it feels?
Yeah, and it feels fucking weird.
It does.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean,
I can't switch it up too much though, because like I'm used to walking with like my entire penis down my right leg.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like it takes some dexterity when it's as long as mine. You know, you got to get used to like the way it bends around the knee.
Right. You know, I'm the same way except the left, but either way, it's fine. I get it.
Right.
Oh God.
So what have you been up to this week?
God, just working like crazy again. It's going to be kind of nuts for me all the way up through New Year's probably. I did have a little bit of a weird situation. This was going a couple weeks back. I didn't have a chance to bring it up last week. But for me, normally Black Friday is like a pretty easy, pretty light day. We don't really have a ton going on. Most places got their deliveries from us on Wednesday, and a lot of those places were closed Thursday. So Friday, really nothing happened in between. But this Friday ended up being weird, and it ended up being a super, super busy day. Yeah, and just a super long day. But the thing that made it better, I was at Meijer and I needed to use the bathroom, and I was kind of annoyed at this point. The day was just taking way longer than I was expecting it to. And I go in the bathroom and the urinal is out of order. I'm like,
Of
okay.
course.
I'm like, okay, whatever. There's 2 stalls. Both of them were occupied. And I was like, God, I just need to take a piss. and finish up so I can get the hell out of here. And
Should just use the sink.
I should have. I really should have, but I decided to wait. And I'm waiting, and the guy in one of the stalls, like, I see him get up, and I'm like, okay, sweet. He's almost done. Then I see like a shirt go up over his head.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I wasn't really paying too much attention, but I thought, like, okay, maybe it was like a pullover jacket, you know, and he took off his jacket to drop a deuce, because deucing with
it's intense sometimes.
Yeah. I totally get that. Well, then he does the thing that, like, small children do, and he, like, kicks the handle to flush it.
Okay.
Which is either a sign that you're a child or, like, a germaphobe.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Well, then he comes out and nope, not a jacket. It was just like the t-shirt he was wearing because his jacket was in his hand.
What?
And then he decides to not wash his hands.
Oh, good.
So the guy...
Oh, great. Wait, so the guy who kicked the toilet handle didn't wash his hands?
Right, and also was pooping shirtless.
What the fuck's wrong with this dude?
I don't know, but that situation instantly brought a smile to my face and made that day so much better. Yeah.
I really want to know that guy's story. You should have caught up with him and been like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on with that. Let's see. But other than that, I officially bought my car.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really uneventful. I just signed like 12 papers and then left and, you know, just kept my same car and everything. So,
but now you can drill a hole into the door and no one can stop you.
I can. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. But I guess that's probably all that's really been going on with me. What about you?
Not much. I've been working on, a video. I don't have like a guaranteed time of arrival, but I'm very deep into a video right now, and I'm thinking it'll be out very soon. Probably like ideally this episode of the podcast will come out on the 13th. The video should be out within that week after that episode goes live. So this is the last episode before that video comes out.
Oh, nice.
So everyone go check that out on Captain Mack, the official Captain Mack, the one and only Captain Mack.
Right.
And give it a little watch. It's gonna be a bit of a longer video documenting my whole road trip, documenting my whole move. But I'm really, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I think it looks really good. But other than that, I went to a pasta shop in town with a friend of mine, and we got dinner there, and it was great. I had a carbonara, which was very good.
Nice.
And while I was there was it was kind of like it was like a nicer place. It was a bit like dimly lit, and this like group of 4 kind of older people all sat at a table nearby us, and they did like the most boomer shit I've ever seen. Like, one of them whipped out his phone and turned on the flashlight so he could see the menu.
Oh, come on.
Which, like, in itself isn't horrible. It's like, it's kind of goofy, but it's not horrible. What made it super fucking goofy to me was that he took his phone and he raised it up above the table so that it could shine its light down on everybody's menu.
Oh, come on, dude.
It looked so fucking goofy.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say he had like the strobe turned on.
Oh, yeah, accidentally gives himself a seizure.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious in like a busy restaurant, having someone have their strobe on.
Yeah. No, it was just super goofy. But there was something else that really, really goofy that happened when I was out to dinner. Like I said, I went with my friend. And you know, Mike, you're a bit of a sports guy. You might be able to answer this question. She had a question that kind of puzzled me. So I'm curious to hear if you'll be able to answer it. And I'll preface this story by saying that she does not speak English natively. Her first language is Spanish.
Okay.
So you know, there's a little wiggle room here, but I still think this is really fucking goofy. We sat down and started talking, and I don't know how we got on this subject, but we were talking a little bit about sports stuff. And she asked me, she goes, What's the stick you use to hit the ball in soccer?
Okay, yeah, that's not there's
so I was a bit taken aback.
Yeah.
I was like, I repeated to her to make sure I heard her right. I was like, what's the stick you use to hit the ball in soccer? And she goes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not a thing.
And so I look at her and I say, your leg. And then both of us just erupt in laughter as she realized how stupid what she said was.
Yeah.
What she meant to ask, and this is still kind of a goofy question, but what she meant to ask was what the stick you used to hit the ball in baseball is, which is still goofy because it's just a baseball bat.
Yeah, it's a bat, but
that was so fucking funny to me. I was laughing my ass off.
In soccer, like,
what's the
like, I could see if she got like soccer and football mixed up, because like the term football is used for like interchangeably in, you know, other places, but nah, baseball, nope. That doesn't work.
Oh my god, I like didn't want to be like mean about it, but like I was just so confused that all I could say was like your leg.
Well, yeah, it's your leg.
The leg is kind of stick-like, so you know, maybe
it is.
Maybe she meant to ask that. Maybe that's what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't know, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know. That's real goofy though.
Anyway, yeah, I told her I wasn't going to let her live that down, and that I was going to talk about it on the podcast. So there we go.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad you stuck with that. Thinking of something else that happened to me that Black Friday that was kind of annoying. Two things. One, I had to build this huge display, which is part of what made my day so long. I was building this like 50 case display that I had previously put like Christmas decorations on and everything, like making it look all pretty. So I'm trying to rebuild this, and you know how like sometimes you're in public and people who know each other run into each other and then just stand there and talk?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that happened within like 15 feet of me. And like it was, I don't know if it was like four people. I don't know who was together or who was with who, but whatever. It was like four people, like all middle-aged, like you would expect, middle-aged plus, probably like late 50s, early 60s. And they're all like just chatting. And I swear to God, they were talking for like 45 minutes in the same.
That sounds right.
In the same fucking spot. And that, Lily, get out of the tree. I swear to God, I can't fucking make this shit up. Lily, hey. I mean, you can cut this out if you need to.
No, I think it's funny to leave it in.
All right. God, she hasn't touched that damn tree since last podcast.
Seriously? For fuck's sake, Lily. You waited for the right time, huh?
Yeah, it's probably because I wasn't fucking paying attention to her. But anyway, so this group of people, they're talking, and it's seriously been like 45 minutes. And I know it was at least 45 because I had been texting my boss back and forth. And so I like looked back at our text messages and I was like, yep, it's been at least 45 minutes. And then I'm looking down doing my shit. And all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, hey, how are you?" They ran into
another one.
Another one. There was another one. Yeah. And thankfully she was like younger and clearly was not into this whole like hour-long conversation, but that still lasted a good like 5-10 minutes. She left, and then they kept talking for at least another 15, and then it was time for me to leave. And so I don't know how much longer they stayed there and talked.
Dude, that's such like an old person thing to do. Like, find someone you know at a fucking grocery store and just talk to them forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that happened that day, it made me realize how much of an adult I am. And not necessarily the way I act or the things that we talk about in the podcast make me an adult. But I figured out the point at which you officially become an adult. It's when you're in public and you find groups of teenagers to be fucking annoying as hell. That's when you realize you've graduated into adulthood. Is
this the first time this has happened to you, Mike? Because I'm already annoyed by teenagers.
No. That's been a thing for me for a long time, but it happened like pretty much at the same time as that group of people that were just standing there talking, and it was just like another thing that annoyed me, and I was like, God, teenagers are so annoying, and I was like, man, at what point did that start happening? And I was like, I don't know when it was, but that's when you know you're an adult.
I feel like for me, it was like a couple years out of high school.
Yeah, probably the same for me too, honestly.
It doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't. God, fucking teenagers.
I just like, you come to realize that kids in high school and that like you in high school thought you just like were the shit, and like everything happening in life was like so much bigger than it was, and then you get out of high school and you realize none of it mattered, and nothing you've really done at this point up to this point made you a person at all.
Right. Yeah, literally nothing you did in high school makes any kind of difference.
It's not meaningful at all past that point.
Right.
And you know what, like that's as comforting as it is depressing. Like on a depressing note, like no matter how, like all the hard work you put into like studying or whatever, it doesn't really fucking matter. But at the same time, all the embarrassing or stupid shit you did in high school that you're like depressed to know that you did, that doesn't matter either. Good for you.
Right. Yeah, it's over. It's done with. Nobody cares about it anymore. Yeah, you're right. It's refreshing and depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about this the other day. We were, we were talking about what sort of ice cream flavors could we make? They were just like off the wall. We didn't think about doing like a Thanksgiving ice cream. Like, get yourself some.
I feel like there's too many flavors involved.
Well, I was thinking, you got like some turkey flavored ice cream, and you mix some cranberries into it, and then you got the rivers of gravy.
But then, like, okay, what about like mashed potatoes? You got to work in mashed potatoes somehow. What about like stuffing or other shit like that?
I mean, I guess you could put some stuffing crumbles in there. Yeah, I mean,
like we can't like overload it with like too much stuff, or else it stops being ice cream.
Right. The same sort of issue like with the taco ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
If you put too much in, you're literally just eating like a cold taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could have like a turkey ice cream. I feel like you could have like a turkey flavored ice cream with like stuffing mixed in.
Okay.
But I don't know if you could have like a full like Thanksgiving meal ice cream.
Yeah. It's got to have gravy swirls in it though.
Just like a mashed potato flavored ice cream with gravy swirls in it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit!
God, cold mashed. Like I don't understand your distaste for mashed potatoes because mashed potatoes are fucking awesome, but cold mashed potatoes are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, even as much as I don't like them, I mean, I can like stomach a couple bites, but cold sounds absolutely horrendous.
It's miserable.
Oh, what if a Thanksgiving ice cream was like Neapolitan style? What if you had
I guess you could do that.
like the carton with like the 3 separate flavors that you then like scoop into one?
I hadn't considered such a thing. Now that you mention it, I guess that could be possible. Yeah, just have like 3 separate kinds of ice cream.
Yeah, that wasn't one of my original thoughts, but I mean it came to me right now. Huh. Yeah. Do you like Neapolitan? I'm sure we've talked about this.
I don't know if I've ever actually tried it, to be honest with you.
I really like it. I feel like it's possibly the most underrated ice cream flavor.
What are the flavors?
Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
I see. Yeah, that does sound good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, vanilla goes with everything. So, like, it goes with the chocolate and it goes with the strawberry. And chocolate and strawberry go together. Like, chocolate-covered strawberries are a thing. So, like, it all works. But I was going to ask you, and you're not going to be able to answer this since you said you haven't had it. But, in the carton, it comes in, like, sections. Each flavor's individual. I was going to ask you if you like take a scoop of each section separately or if you go across and scoop them all together.
Yeah, I have no frame of reference.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the all-in-one scoop.
It looks more interesting.
Yeah. God, I might have to.
And that way you don't have to like. I feel like if you put them in separate scoops, you'd have to like more actively try to get them to mix together.
Right. Yeah, you got to take like a little tiny spoon of each one, or like if it's a cone, you just have like three. It's like 3 different.
Making more work for yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you got to go across all 3. You got to cross the streams.
Have you ever heard of spumoni?
Yes. I think
I may have told you this story already, but it made me think of a story.
I believe that's pistachio flavored, correct?
Let me see. Well, it's like Neapolitan. It's several flavors.
Okay.
Layers of different colors and flavors, usually containing candied fruits and nuts. 3 flavors. It will not tell me what the 3 flavors are. Can you fucking get to the point, bro? Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me read this first part first.
Yeah.
Cherry, pistachio, and either chocolate or vanilla.
Okay.
And then it says at the bottom here, Neapolitan is actually a variation of spumoni.
Oh.
Spumoni came first.
Okay. All right.
But in my camp days, in my summer camp days, whenever we had staff week, we would always do all these like icebreaker, get to know each other things, like basically like try to like get people as comfortable around each other as possible before the scouts actually arrive, because we're all going to be working together for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So we would do all kinds of different kinds of icebreakers, and my friend Brandon was always really good at coming up with them, because he would come up with questions that like would induce really weird responses. So like one of the ones that he liked to ask is like, if you were a plant, what kind of plant would you be? And you'd get an idea of the kind of person somebody was off that question, because they'd have to explain themselves, because why the fuck would anybody know what that even means?
Right. Yeah,
so like along those same.
I was gonna say, like, if someone says they want to be like a Venus flytrap, you're like, well, they're kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I don't remember whatever I chose whenever I was asked that. I can't honestly remember. I want to be a cactus so people can't touch me.
Don't touch me.
But anyway, one of the questions he asked at one point was like, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? And, you go around the circle, you get a lot of, the normal responses. Moose tracks or mint chocolate chip, cookie dough, cookies and cream, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this guy, he just blurts out Spumoni. And everybody kind of looks at him and we're just like, what the fuck is Spumoni? Because no one's heard of Spumoni.
Yeah.
And Brandon again goes, after we're done doing this whole thing, he goes, in case, because again, like we're all friends on this camp staff. A lot of like inside jokes get made and a lot of like inside jokes get tossed around a lot. Some of which aren't 100% appropriate around scouts. And in general, sometimes it can be easy to like, what's the word? Like cross the line a little bit. So
Sure.
he decided that if that kind of thing ever happened, the safe word would be Spumoni. So anytime someone was saying something or doing something that was crossing the line that they weren't supposed to, someone would just yell Spumoni at them and they would knock it off.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that cemented some Spumoni into my mind.
Okay.
But I still haven't tried it yet, though. I'm not huge on pistachio ice cream, so I don't know if I'd like it. But
I do love me some pistachio like flavor. Well, pistachios themselves and like pistachio ice cream or like I've even had like pistachio pudding. I love it.
I like pistachios. I'm just not big on it as an ice cream flavor.
Right on.
Or gelato or anything.
Speaking of pistachios, that kind of reminds me of a story. Did you ever work with a girl at World Market named Haley?
I don't know. I don't think so.
She was real fucking weird. She was kind of cool. She worked there for a while and then she quit. And then Carissa brought her back as like a furniture head. And then
I remember stories about this woman, but I never met her.
And then Haley dipped out like by email like 2 weeks later.
Nice.
Do you remember on our old receiving door there was like a sign that was like
that's where that came from.
Yeah, it was something like
that's where I know that name from.
Don't pull on me too hard. I'm just a simple sailor knot that Haley found on Google. Please be nice to me or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a cord on the door so you could pull it closed.
Yeah.
Or pull it open.
Yeah, either way. So this girl, she's real quirky. And
by the way, like just to mention that note she left, that fucking knot was solid. We tugged on that motherfucker like nobody's business.
Hell yeah, we did. Hell yeah. Yeah, she did a good job with that sailor knot she found on Google, so good on her for that. One day I was coming back from my break and I go into the break room and she's sitting there and just with like the straightest face in the world, she looks at me and she's like, she's eating a bag of trail mix. And I said like, oh, eating some trail mix or something like that. And she's like, if you were to make your own trail mix, what would you put in it? And then says, without pausing, I'm going to judge you quickly based on your response. And I thought that was super fucking goofy. And I was like, I just rolled with it. I was like, definitely like some cashews and, like probably some like dried cranberries and like chocolate chips or something like that. And again, still like completely straight face. She's like, oh, that's going to be one expensive ass trail mix. And I was like, I didn't realize I was on a budget. You just asked me what I would put into a trail mix.
She's like, you real decadent, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you fancy, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of it. But I mean, pistachios are another one that I would probably put into a trail mix.
I would put Jello.
Jello.
Yeah, just toss some Jello in there.
Just scoop it out with your hand, like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everything can get stuck to the Jello, and you can just kind of like get one big glob of trail mix Jello, and it'll taste awful.
Yeah. Mac, you love
Jello's fucking weird. Do you like Jello?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't know that I've ever like really made it myself, but yeah, I mean, I'll eat it. It's okay.
I'm not huge on Jello, man. It's got like a weird flavor, and I don't like the way that I don't like the gelatinous nature of it.
Now, does it make a difference to you if it's like the spoon kind of Jello or like the kind that you like pick up?
Not really, no.
Okay. Because they definitely have a definite texture difference. Like the kind you spoon is a lot softer.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like I'd say the stuff you pick up is worse because I don't like the way it like breaks apart but doesn't like squish, I'd say.
Okay.
But I don't know. Whenever I think about eating Jello, I just think about the Jello that whatever her name is, the super old lady in Christmas Vacation who makes like the cat food Jello.
Oh God, yeah. I can't think of her.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. Aunt something.
It's some old lady name.
Aunt Martha or something like that.
I don't think it's Martha, but it's an old lady name.
Yeah.
And I think Uncle Eddie loved that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course he did. Oh,
it was
Jesus.
Bethany.
Oh, Bethany. Oh God, yeah, because there's like her old husband when they ask Bethany to say grace. He like yeah, he like gets really annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That bitch was crazy.
Yeah. Damn, I really got to watch that movie soon.
I think I have to as well. It's some good shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch that one at least once a year. God, so good.
You know what always, I don't know if this is just like a fake thing that people started spreading, but what I always found really funny is like this scene when the SWAT like breaks into the house and everybody freezes.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm blanking on all the characters' name. Whatever the wife's name is, like when she has her hand on Chevy Chase's dick.
Yeah.
That was apparently unscripted.
Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't know that.
I just have no idea how that would have come to be otherwise. Like,
yeah.
How do you just casually put your hand on some dude's dick?
Yeah, and then she like
unless it was meant to be like unless she was like, this is gonna be really funny and then she did it, like that's one thing, but if it just kind of happened by accident, then it's a little weird.
Well, the best part of that is she takes it off because doesn't she like try to like shake someone's hand and then
she shakes the police chief's hand and then just puts it right back with like a decent like force.
Yeah. God, that's fucking hilarious. That's an awesome like ad lib on her well, either way, at least part of it had to be ad libbed. Like,
I mean, like either way, it's a hilarious scene, but I believe it was like ad libbed, and if so, like that's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh God. Mac, you may roll your eyes at me and go, "Ugh, God, this is like boomer humor," but you like a good meme, right?
Sure do.
Have you seen the like Sharon and the Marie like thanks Marie calendars?
The what now?
Okay, so apparently you don't know about this. So there was this lady who, for Thanksgiving, made like frozen Marie calendars, like pre-made pumpkin pie, and this bitch burned the fuck out of it. Like, like the entire top of it was like black. And she commented on Facebook, like, gee, thanks, Marie Calendars, for ruining Thanksgiving. And people just started like roasting her in the comments. And then it's just taken on like a mind of its own, being incorporated into like other memes and like thanks Marie calendars has kind of become a thing, along with like making fun of Sharon. So I didn't know if you had caught on to that, but it's pretty funny. You should look into it.
No, I haven't seen that at all.
Yeah,
it does remind me of the good old thanks Obama memes. I loved those.
Right? Yeah.
Someone like made a mod for Dark Souls. Like every time you die in Dark Souls, you get like this very distinct text pop up that just says you died. And someone modded the game so it says thanks Obama instead.
Oh, that's great.
That's
funny shit right there. Yeah, clearly this
lady.
You think
Obama would ever come on the podcast?
I mean, he does that podcast with Bruce Springsteen. It's called like I think Renegades. So
Bruce Springsteen isn't us.
I know, but my point being, he's not above doing a podcast in general. So, I mean, maybe we can get the POTUS on here. The former.
I'd love to hear his thoughts on this whole like being able to adjust your nuts conundrum, because he's had to have. He's had to have had some situations like standing at a podium about to give a speech and been like, fuck, my nutsack stuck to my leg.
Right? Yeah. I mean, clearly it's happened to him. And like, he's way more in the public eye than we are. Like people, there's always eyes on him.
I would love to see him like get up at a podium and like today, not in like the past, but like get up at the podium and be like, and everybody's like wondering like what did he call his press conference for? What is he about to talk about? Is he gonna try to like run for president? Does he know that he can't do that again? And he just stands there and he goes, I think the American people should be able to adjust their nutsacks as needed.
Oh, or he just stands, or he just doesn't say anything like leading into it. He walks up there and just switches from one side to the other, and everyone's like, what the fuck did he just do? But it's like, what the fuck are you gonna say about it? Like, he's not president anymore. Like, you're just criticizing a dude that's untouchable.
True.
Oh. Yeah.
Obama, come on our podcast to talk about your nuts, dog.
It sounds like that needs to be our next guest star for sure.
We bring him on like jokingly as if that's the premise, but we refuse to engage in any other conversations.
Anytime he tries to talk about anything serious, we just keep bringing that, just circle back.
Exactly. Like he starts to bring up like some political issues and we're like, Barack, we're not done talking about the boys.
Now the boys, summer months, you got to agree. It's so much worse, right? Like you're from Hawaii. Like that shit had to be going on like 360.
Dude, he had to get some swampy nuts. He knows.
Yeah, that had to be going on 365.
Oh, totally. That place is humid as fuck.
Right. God, that boy knows a thing or two about some swamp nuts.
For sure.
Oh, this is so goofy. I love it.
If you were like legit though, like let's imagine for a second, like you're able to bring anybody onto the podcast. Who are you calling on?
God. I mean, in like a kind of somewhat realistic option, there is my like all-time favorite radio show host. He actually lives here in town and we have a mutual friend. That's not completely out of the realm of possibility. I think that'd be cool as hell. I've been listening to him for like 15 years, something like that. So I think that'd be pretty awesome. I got to meet him once, but yeah, bringing him on the podcast would be awesome. But if we're talking like broad, like Anybody.
Like just anybody.
Tom Hanks, I think, would be kind of fun. I love that
That'd
dude.
be interesting.
He seems like he'd be a good time. He's got like a good sense of humor.
Just be like, did you actually run across the US for Forrest Gump?
Right?
You're so fucking fit.
Yeah, dude. I think he actually is a runner because on his Instagram account, he was taking pictures of like whenever he would find a lost glove, just like laying on the street and like post on Instagram trying to find its owner. I think that's pretty good. But what about you? Who would you want to have on?
I think I'd pull up Jeff Bridges.
Oh, the dude.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking about The Big Lebowski lately, but like I do love that man, and I think, you know, having his voice added on to ours would make for a very good listening experience because that man has a great voice.
Yeah. What about Morgan Freeman? That'd be kind of funny.
It'd be interesting. I don't know if I'd have anything to talk about with Morgan Freeman. Like he seems so straight-laced.
He does, but like assuming he's stuck engaging in conversation with us, could you imagine him in his legendary, like godlike narrator voice talking about having swamp nuts?
Sometimes it feels good to switch sides. Sometimes there's no need to.
Right? Oh God.
That would be really fucking good. Oh man.
All right, so I think we're in agreement that if Barack's not available, then good old Mr. Freeman's next in line.
I think it's when it comes to like nutsack talk for sure. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Oh God.
I also think it'd be really interesting. I'd be interested to see like if we were to get like Eric Andre on the podcast, I'd want to like try to fuck with him the way that he fucks with guests on his show and just like see how he reacts to it.
Yeah, because doesn't he like to like scare the shit out of people?
Well, he does all kind. He makes them uncomfortable. He just like asks some weird questions. He's like, he just basically tortures his guests, and like it's funny. It's hilarious because he's like a very chill dude in person. Like I've seen a lot of like interviews with him and like podcasts with him, and he's actually like a pretty normal dude. It's obviously just a character.
Yeah,
and so like I'm wondering if I did the same thing to him, would he go along with it and like roll with the punches? Probably.
Oh, I bet he would.
Or would he?
Yeah.
Or would he be like, seriously, this is my thing?
Oh, I bet he'd go along with it.
I bet he would.
Somebody else that I think would be kind of fun to hang out with is I think Jimmy Fallon would be a really good time. He just seems like a real like goofy dude.
I don't think I would like to have Jimmy Fallon on. Jimmy Fallon's kind of known as a bit of an idiot.
He kind of is, but like,
isn't his whole thing that he laughs at everybody's jokes and interrupts their stories constantly?
I mean, kind of, yeah. But he just
that's not a great podcast guest at all.
Well, I mean, that's like when he's doing his thing. I don't know. It just seems like he'd be fun to hang out with. I feel like we could have some good laughs with him. He doesn't.
I don't know enough about talk show hosts because I'm not your age.
Ugh, God. Yeah, that's true. Oof. Yeah. Us boom.
I'd say Larry King would be great, but that's not a thing anymore.
He did. Remember how you killed him?
Yeah, we never ended up talking about that, did we?
No, we didn't. We didn't. You totally killed Larry King.
I did. I brought up on a podcast episode, I was talking about how like we were talking about Larry King, I think, and I was just like, man, it's gonna be a really sad day when he dies. And then like the week that episode came out, he died.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, we also killed Daft Punk too.
Yeah, because we talked about Daft Punk with Kanan, and like 2 weeks later they broke up.
Yeah.
Well, broke up isn't a good way of putting it. They retired.
Right. But yeah, they stopped.
They blew up, if anything.
Correct. They did blow up. Oh yeah. God. Yeah, we've been meaning to talk about that for like damn near a year now. Shit.
Yeah, it was like at the forefront of our minds during like the following episodes, but I think it just faded as like the further away it got.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
Sometimes we just don't get to topics.
I'm always glad when we can circle back to things that we meant to talk about but never got around to. That's always fun.
Yeah, well, sometimes I stockpile ideas. Like you usually come to the table with some stuff. I'm usually like don't really have anything to talk about. So I'll like have an idea of a story at the beginning of a lot of podcasts, and I'll just wait for an opportunity to bring it up. But sometimes it doesn't come, so I'll just hold on to it for the next episode.
Oh yeah, me too. Like I've got a running list of probably, I don't know, 20 or 25 ideas, and just I kind of scroll over it when we start. And then if anything pops into my head, then I'll bring it up. But yeah, when we can circle back, I like that.
Okay, now let's flip this around. Are there any like celebrities or personalities that you would absolutely not want to have on the podcast?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, coming to mind, I'm trying to think. I'm not a big fan of Jim Carrey.
Like he's a lot.
Yeah. Yep, he's a lot. And although I find Vince Vaughn to be funny in movies, he seems like he would be the biggest fucking dick in person.
Let me just look up who Vince Vaughn is.
Oh God. Why are you like this?
I don't even know if have I seen any movies with this guy? I think I've maybe seen Wedding Crashers.
Okay. Ugh.
Oh, I know Dodgeball. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good in his movies, but he just has that like, he gives off like a real dick vibe.
I can't really comment on it. I obviously don't know him that well, but
yeah. I'm sure there's a lot more that I would also not want to interact with, but off the top of my head, none are really coming to me. You got any? You really don't.
Well, I just think of people who'd be like difficult to talk to because they're known for like certain agenda that they don't leave behind in any situation. Like if I think of a personality like Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson, who like, regardless of whether or not you agree or disagree with their politics, it's just like no matter where they are or what they're doing, they're always talking about it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want that. Like, I just want to have a chat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of like really like super socially awkward actors where it's like it would just be like one word answers and that would be the end of it.
Man, this isn't related to what you just said, but I would love to have Bryan Cranston on the podcast.
Yeah, you're a big Bryan Cranston fan?
Yeah, well, he's like, obviously I'm a massive fan of Breaking Bad. But,
right.
He's also like, every time you see him in public or on interviews, he's like, it's like a super personable guy, super funny. I saw a great video of him the other day. He was at like a convention. It was people were asking him questions about Breaking Bad, and some kid like came up to the mic and he was like, "Did you enjoy your time in Albuquerque while you're filming for Breaking Bad?" And like he didn't really answer right away, and the kid kind of like didn't know what to do with the awkward silence because he was like, "Well, I'm from there, so I'm curious." And Brian like clapped back with like, "Yeah, I'd visit your mom all the time."
Oh, that's goofy.
Yeah, so just like a really charismatic individual. Seems like a great guy to talk to.
I just thought of somebody else who I'd like to talk to. Steve Carell just seems like he is the nicest person in the world. And maybe
he does. That'd be fun.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a huge dick in person, but like every like movie and every interview, he just seems super fucking nice. And obviously he's hilarious. So he seems like he would be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun.
I remember seeing him in an interview once on, one of those boomer talk shows. And the host was like asking him like about his kids or whatever. And he's like, oh, are they doing well in school or, what? I don't know, whatever, something like that. And Steve Carell was like, yeah, I mean, they do all right. They're okay. And he's like, parents just come on and they're always like, oh my God, I've got the smartest kid in the world. He's like, nah, my kids, they're not dumb, but I wouldn't really call them all that smart. It was just fucking funny.
The funny thing too is that sounds like a very like Michael Scott kind of response.
Right? Yeah. I think there's a lot of Steve Carell in Michael Scott.
Yeah, well, he just he breathed so much life into that role. You got to imagine part of Michael Scott was just him.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I'd love to bring like certain people up onto the podcast who are only famous for certain things and just like not let them talk about anything else. Like bring Rainn Wilson onto the podcast, who is very clearly trying to like escape being only known for The Office, but then only like refuse to talk about anything that isn't The Office.
Yeah. It's so funny that you bring that up because you've got the characters from The Office. There's like the ones like Rainn Wilson, who's trying unsuccessfully to break out of that role. And then you've got John Krasinski, who, I mean, he'll always be Jim, but has been successful doing a lot of other things like we've talked about.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Kevin and Stanley, who just like fucking own it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, did you see when Kevin did like a commercial for Bush's Baked Beans on making chili?
Yeah, you sent me that.
Yeah, that's fucking great. He like owned that like tiny like cold open that everyone loves and just spun that into a commercial like years after the show was done.
Yeah, man, he sold the character of Kevin so well.
I know.
Like the reason that chili bit is so great is because he sold like how distraught he was about dropping it so fucking well.
Yeah. Oh, and he got like, especially because he got like so passionate about like talking about like how much time and effort and work he puts into the chili, and then he just fucking drops it.
Yeah. Man, I miss The Office. I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it once since it like went off of Netflix.
When did it go off?
I don't know. It was like last year sometime.
Okay. Yeah. God, it's so good. I'll catch a rerun here and there.
I don't have a cable subscription, so.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a streaming subscription, so.
At all?
Currently, no. I've had Netflix twice, and I never fucking used it.
Shit.
God,
you're old.
I literally, like, I signed up for Netflix simply to watch Tiger King when it came out, because everyone was like, oh my God, you got to see this. And, like,
they put out a new season of that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not super into it. I didn't think it was that great the first time. But
see, I liked it the first time. I thought it was like decently well done, but it's also like a super biased documentary. Like it, when you actually do the research, you come to find that it's not nearly as cut and dry as they make it seem in the show, and I don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's great for entertainment, but it's not great for the people involved in the story.
Yeah, I think for me, like the memes were better than the actual show.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I was a little bit disappointed with it, but I ended up keeping my Netflix for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months after I watched it. And I probably watched like 2 movies. And then I signed up for it again, like, I don't know, like August, September, maybe. Because there was a show my dad told me about. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So I signed up. I watched like the 2 seasons of that, and I watched Schitt's Creek, and then I canceled it and haven't missed it.
I think I gotta like pare down some of my subscriptions because like I have a Hulu subscription and I like Hulu, but I haven't actually used my Hulu subscription in forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I love watching TV, especially like, like movies and things. And I'm always like, okay, I got Netflix again. I gotta actually use it. And whenever I'm like, oh, that's a movie I want to watch, it's literally never been on Netflix. Like, not once have I decided on a movie that I want to watch, looked for it on Netflix, and have it actually be on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just not. It's not worth it for me. I did like the sign up free trial. So I guess I've technically had it 3 times. When the 3rd season of Stranger Things came out, but I just canceled it after like a month. Yeah, I just don't use it. I don't know.
It's good for watching stuff in the background for me, but for the last like few months, I've been more into like YouTube stuff. Like I watch a lot of live stream VODs in the background instead now.
Okay.
Because like when I'm watching stuff in the background, it needs to be something I don't need to pay attention to. So half the time I'm unwilling to watch something I haven't seen before. So I just watch the same stuff over and over. At least with live streams, like I can watch new stuff that I don't have to pay that much attention to.
Yeah. Yeah. I watch a good amount of YouTube. There's a few channels that I make sure I watch their like every video they put out.
Such as Captain Mack, the only Captain Mack.
Right, the only Captain Mack, correct. Yeah, but other than that, no, it's just like straight up regular TV. Because I watch a lot of sports, so I need like a subscription, like a cable subscription. But
man, I love YouTube. I watch so much YouTube. Like it makes perfect sense that it's something I wanted to pursue since I was young. Like I love YouTube.
Yeah, no, I do too. And
I feel like the wonderful thing about YouTube, especially in this day and age where like YouTubers are able to like put like a lot of like high budget into what they do, you get stuff on YouTube that you would just literally never see on TV. And like that comes with like the very simple definition of that, as in like, oh, no one's going to put like, a guy playing a video game on TV. But
right.
on like a more, I don't know, like interesting way. Like I literally last night I watched like an almost 2-hour long documentary about the history of Disney's Fast Pass, and it was fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And like I don't think it would have ever gotten greenlit for like an actual like TV or movie documentary, because half of the video is him talking about how lines work in theme parks. And you wouldn't think that'd be interesting, but it was super interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see that. Granted, this was on TV and not YouTube, but in that same sense, like there's a lot of stuff I like on like History Channel, again, because I'm a boomer and that's, like a boomer channel. But
well, like watch a lot of Pawn Stars, Grandma.
I mean, I was into that for a good while, a good couple years. I
think everybody was.
I was into that, but no, there was one that was like the foods that built America, and it would be like one episode would be like McDonald's versus Burger King, or like Hershey's versus Nestle, and how they like battled each other. It was a pretty good show. I don't know if it's still on. It's been a while since I've seen that. Mac, you're familiar with Stonehenge, right?
Yeah, the one that was built by aliens.
Right. Well, it kind of plays into a little bit of what I was gonna say. So
I had a feeling.
Yeah, not aliens specifically. Like, I'm still going with like humans built it, but everyone's like trying to like like figure out like what does it mean? How does it work? Like part of it lines up with like one of the solstices. And there's not really any like written history from that time period to like give us actual information. How great would it be if they were just like, it was all just like trolling us? Like they just built it simply because they thought it looked cool and it just happened to line up like that. I think that would be fucking great. Like,
see, I just think it was a bunch of dumbasses goofing off.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
and that's a hilarious concept that we're like taking this so seriously when they were literally just fucking around.
Right. Like that's what I mean. Like they just built it because it looked cool and that's it. And we're making this huge deal out of it. I don't know.
And like the funny thing too is like we are in the middle of creating more of that. Cause like just imagine what people are gonna think 1,000 years from now when they come across our fucking memes.
Right?
Like it's so much of meme culture right now is built around how incomprehensible memes are. Like you really have to like be part of the meme world to understand a lot of memes. And so when they come into this like hundreds of years from now with no context and they see that fucking meme, the me and the boys at 2 a.m. looking for beans, like they're not gonna know what the fuck that's about.
Right. Cause you've got so many memes that are like 5-6 meme layers deep. Like they're gonna have to like fucking decode that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're gonna like try to find some deeper meaning behind it when it was literally just a dumb shit post.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that's fucking great. That's so great to think about like future civilizations, assuming that we haven't like wiped the race off the planet.
Even if it's aliens, man, like they're gonna have a field day trying to figure out what the fuck that was about.
Yeah. And like, like clothing and water bottles and other shit that's like got like meme references on them. Like they're going to be so fucking confused.
Yeah.
Unless like the history of memes becomes a thing. Like,
see, but like I'm imagining a time when like we're post some form of apocalypse or extinction event where like records of what this all was have disappeared and all that remains is the result.
Okay, right on. Yeah,
like we're talking so far in the future that like the English language has been extinguished, so no one can understand our historical documents. They just have these hieroglyphic memes to try to figure out what the fuck we were doing.
Oh my God. And then can you imagine, like, obviously you've called me a boomer for this before, but like the like I has cheeseburger, like the memes where it's not like actual English. Could you imagine trying to like decode that? They're like, we can't figure out what this is. It doesn't match our cipher.
Exactly. Yeah. No, dude, like that's so common too, to just have like nonsense words being used in, or like grammar too. Like a lot of meme culture around right now is like focused around like really terrible grammar.
Yeah.
And it's like aliens like get enough of our language to like figure out what certain things mean. They get enough to like grasp what our grammar structure looked like, and then they start looking at memes and it's just completely wrong and they can't figure out what the fuck it's supposed to say.
Oh God, I love it. That's fucking great.
It's a hilarious concept.
God, no one's ever gonna be able to figure out this period of time.
No, I mean, unless like enough historical documents survive.
Yeah, I guess. Or like I said, like if at some point, like whatever, 50 years from now, they start, teaching the history of memes in school, and it gives like, like memes from the very beginning and how their progression, if that becomes a class, but
I would love to see a class on memes, and there's like a vocabulary quiz, and it's like, what does top text meme mean?
Oh God. Yeah.
When you see bottom text in a meme, does that mean the meme is being ironic?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, man. Oh, fuck. That's so funny.
Yeah. Good fucking shit right there. Well, you got anything else to talk? Hey, do you have any questions? Have you been getting questions from anybody recently?
No.
All right, all you losers, start sending us more questions.
Or pictures of your dads.
Yeah. Yeah, dad pics. I got nothing.
All right, yeah. Join us next week when we have Barack Obama, Morgan Freeman, and Ben Shapiro on at the same time.
And the discussion will be swamp nuts.
100%, the entire podcast. It'll be our longest episode, 3-hour episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, with that many guests, we got to give airtime to everybody.
Well, there's just so much to talk about.